Am I the a-hole for divorcing my wife over getting a massage? Am I the a-hole for robbing my wife's affair partner, which has now led to his divorce? Am I the a-hole for being upset my wife got an abortion because her daughter is pregnant? Am I the a-hole for wanting to reveal my affair partner's cheating to her husband? Welcome to another reading and judging Reddit stories video. If you're new here, my name is Sarby. I read Reddit stories for you on my YouTube live stream so that you and I can react and judge them. Lots of drama-filled Am I the A-hole stories this week, specifically a lot of cheating Am I the A-hole stories, so you'll definitely get your daily dose of drama. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see future Reddit stories, and I hope to see you in a live stream. Am I the a-hole for divorcing my wife over getting a massage? My soon-to-be ex-wife and I are both in our late 30s. We've been together 12 years, married for 10. We are in a dead bedroom. It was totally dead for 6 months before I filed for divorce. It was on life support / ICU for 5 to 6 years before that. We both wanted to be younger parents and both wanted 2 kids. We conceived our daughter almost immediately after getting married. When she was 6 months old, we started trying to have the second child. It never happened. After 3 years, we started seeing fertility specialists and found out we both have pretty serious reproductive issues. The doctor told us our daughter was nothing short of a miracle and said it was against all odds that we not only conceived, but carried to term. It was after this that the sex life began to seriously decline. Initially, I thought it was just the pain of finding out and knowing we wouldn't be able to afford the fertility options and figured it would just get better over time. It never did. It only got worse. 5 years ago, I would say we had sex 15 to 20 times that year. In 2023, we had sex 3 times. I've tried everything to improve this, spicing things up, talking, suggesting counseling. I more than pull my weight around the house. We both work and work basically the same hours. I'm telling this because the usual stuff I read on Reddit about how the wife does it all is not even close to true. Over time, I have grown more and more resentful. The thing that makes me the most resentful is she knows I have a high libido and just doesn't care. I, on the other hand, know she loves to be rubbed on / massaged and never took that from her. I probably rub on her 325 times a year. Almost every night, I will rub her calves, shins, ankles, and feet. 4 to 5 nights a month, I will go big and do neck, shoulders, back, butt, hamstring, quads, shins, calves, ankles, and feet. I noticed that doing the big massages was the best way to get sex, as she was more likely to allow me to do the foreplay things I know work on her if I had already done this prep. I did them more often a few years ago, but now not as much. The success rate was never that great, maybe 20% of the time, but in the last 2 years, we are definitely in the single digits. When we hit the 4 months of absolutely no sex, I decided I wasn't rubbing on her ever again. It only took 3 days for her to notice, and she asked me to. I told her no, and I got angry. I said, why should I when you don't give a fuck about what I want? Obviously not my finest moment, and huge argument followed. Things got ice cold at home, but I wasn't giving in. I was tired of it all. A few weeks ago, she told me fine, I would just start seeing a professional masseuse. I said, then I will start seeing sex workers. She said that I was cheating. I said, fine, I won't, but you will not get a massage from anyone else. That is also cheating. She said I was being ridiculous, and I said, no, it's being touched in an intimate way by another. If I can't have that, neither can you, and I swear to fucking God, if you do, I will file for divorce that day. The following weekend, she went to go get her nails done. I know how long it takes for her to get her nails done. She came back almost an hour and a half later than expected. She didn't say anything, just acted normal. I got on her credit card app on my phone, and sure enough, there was a $95 charge to the goddamn massage person in the same strip mall as the nail place. I lost it, and when I did, so did she. I think we both let out years of frustration on each other. True to my word, though, I called a divorce lawyer on Monday. The only part that upset me was my lawyer said based on those circumstances, I couldn't list infidelity as the reason for divorce and had to go with irreconcilable differences. Anyway, she has been telling people we are divorcing because she got a massage. Since then, I've had a number of family members / friends call me and say I'm an a-hole. Some of them, even when I tell them my real reasons, still think I'm an a-hole and that my reasons aren't good enough. Personally, I think getting a massage when told not to is plenty of reasoning. Personal note, I reread this and I know it comes off angry, but I am angry at myself for wasting so many years. But I am also angry because this was just the ultimate fuck you. She just went and did it anyways and didn't even try to hide it. Literally went to the same place next to the nail salon and used her credit card, which I paid, like I wasn't going to see the charge. I think OP's the a-hole because equating sex to getting a massage just isn't doing it for me. That's not the same thing. Giving and receiving a massage has different consensual implications than having sex does. Not saying that OP shouldn't be frustrated at the fact that his marriage doesn't have sex and probably has a lot of other issues, but the way to handle that isn't trying to force them to give you sex by not giving them massage. The verdict I want to land on though is everyone sucks here, because even though like your wife is fully in her rights to go get a massage if she wants to, she isn't completely innocent in this story either. My conclusion is that this marriage should have ended years ago. I do want to look at the comments on this one. The last straw is almost always something small and stupid, but it's just the latest in the long line of hurts. You didn't divorce because she got a massage. The massage was just the final blow to this already dead marriage. Just divorce and die. Okay, but where are the verdicts? Your needs weren't being met. That's the reason you're divorcing, and it's perfectly fine. You're within your rights to do so, and it's not an a-hole mood. But if you put it like, I think getting massages when told not to is plenty of reasoning, that makes you sound like a controlling a-hole. So make sure you state things as they are. You were divorcing because you were unhappy and the marriage was one-sided, not because she got a massage. You got the wrong trigger there. Why is nobody talking about this whole section right here is so incredibly immature and wrong? Not saying that his feelings of like, hey, I'm not getting any sex out of this marriage and I would like to aren't merited, but what I'm saying is him manifesting it in this way feels wrong to me. I was telling my husband this story and he said the massage could be considered cheating because she's having her physical needs met outside of the marriage. Physical needs of getting a massage are different from physical needs of sexual pleasure. I don't necessarily disagree with your husband, Sammy, but I think it's just different. The consent in the situation of sex is more important than the consent of a massage. A massage is something where like maybe you don't want to do it, but if somebody forces you to do it, no lines are really crossed. Versus sex, if you don't want to do that, for somebody to force you to do that is a huge implication. I think that's the problem that I have with this. Am I the a-hole for robbing my wife's affair partner, which has now led to his divorce? We have an age 32 OP, an age 30 ex-wife. I've been married to my soon-to-be ex-wife Madison for 4 years. We are currently in counseling, but it's not going to work. About a year ago, I found out she was having an affair by coming home to their clothes in our living room and sounds coming from our bedroom. I lost it. I was getting my cricket bat out of the front closet when I stopped to think about consequences. I did not want to go to jail. Instead, I took all their clothes and left quietly. I went to a friend's house, but not before throwing all the clothes in a McDonald's garbage can. I turned off my phone and got shit-faced with my buddy. His wife hosed us off in the morning. After I turned my phone back on, I had dozens of calls and texts from Madison. First scared because she got my updated flight information. Then upset that I hadn't called her to let her know I was going to be coming home early. Then freaked out that the house had been broken into. Then crazy because she figured out it was me. They just got more deranged. The guy she was with is 5 inches shorter than me and about 60 pounds lighter. So if he had taken my clothes, it would be obvious. He ended up calling his friend to go get his spare keys from his house. Unfortunately for him, his wife smelled a rat and followed his friend back to my house, where she saw him leaving in oversized clothes. Long story short, she took pictures and she had evidence of his infidelity, which caused their prenup to be canceled, which cost him a lot of money. It is all one big giant shit show. It took a couple of months, but my wife convinced me to try and forgive her. We started going to counseling and we were working our way through it until recently. In a counseling session, she said that I was wrong to steal his wallet, phone, and car keys. She said that his divorce is costing him a lot of money and that I should have dealt with it in a more mature manner and that it was my fault. The audacity to say something like that is fucking so insane. Hey, babe, I know I just cheated on you, but you should really be more mature. No fucking way. I've never admitted to taking his stuff to begin with. I was afraid he might call the cops. Then I didn't want to give her ammunition in case she wanted a divorce. Now I just don't care. I told her that her cheating was the reason her boyfriend is getting divorced and that I hope his ex takes everything. I am still not living at home. I have my own apartment and I'm filing for a divorce. Now that I know how she feels, it is kind of a slap in the face that she is blaming me for his divorce. Fucking so crazy. I think the only thing that OP is an a-hole for is giving this wife a second chance. If you're going to a counseling session, the person who cheated has no leverage. There's almost 0% chance you can sit there and be like, yeah, so everything you did was wrong. You cheated on me. I think the only part I somewhat maybe disagree with is the fact that he threw away all of his belongings. Don't get me wrong, it's better than going in with a cricket bat. He did rob them which is wrong, but like also, hey man, if you're sleeping with another dude's wife, I think you can't really complain in that situation. Am I the a-hole for being upset my wife got an abortion because her daughter is pregnant? We have a 37 female wife, a 48 male OP, and a 17 female daughter. So my wife Amelia and I have one child, a son who is 7 years old, turning 8. I'm not gonna lie, had my wife not gotten pregnant, we probably would not have gotten married because we were just hooking up at that point. But things have been really good since we did, and we're firmly in love. We did decide that we'd wait before having another kid though, because I wanted her career to take off, for her business to boom. It has, and we decided earlier this year it's best to go for it before she turns 40. The thing is that Amelia has a daughter, Kate, 17 female, from her first marriage. Things between my wife and Kate were rough, and I know this isn't going to make my wife sound good, but for the sake of honesty, I'll put it out there. My wife had a little to no contact with her for about 10 years. 2 years ago, Kate's father kicked her out for breaking his rules, and she showed up out of nowhere with a suitcase. I won't lie, there was always a sadness in my wife, but having Kate back in her life got rid of that. Since she moved in with us, Amelia has been happier than she has ever been. Kate's a troubled kid, but 2 years ago was a lot worse than now, and she's mostly blended well. The thing is, my wife has been very strict on some things, like school, but very lax about the things Kate's father was harsh about. Amelia found out she was pregnant about a month ago, and we decided to wait before breaking it to the kids. Except last week, Kate came home from school and had a breakdown, and she admitted to us that her boyfriend got her pregnant and she's been hiding it for almost 2 months. She was crying because she wants to keep the kid, and kept it a secret because she was scared Amelia would force her to get an abortion. However, my wife was elated that we're going to be grandparents, and that cheered up Kate as well. So, my wife made it clear to me that she finds the idea of having a kid younger than her grandchild to be disgusting, and she'd be getting an abortion. We argued about it because I really wanted this baby with her, but she wouldn't even listen to me, and she got an abortion. I've been upset about it, and we've barely talked. Am I being the a-hole? What an insane story to follow. I think this is a no a-holes here situation. I've always said if a woman wants to get an abortion, that's her right. And she did communicate that with OP. They talked about it and she still wanted the abortion and got it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a really stupid reason. I'm not saying that the wife shouldn't have gotten the abortion, but she should realize that getting the abortion hurts her partner very much because he was very much looking forward to this. And if he decides on a divorce, I don't think he would be the a-hole for that. I also just think it's very irresponsible as a parent to encourage your 17-year-old child to have a kid. The conversation should be less, oh yes, I'm gonna be a grandparent, and more like, do you understand what this means for your future? Am I the a-hole? I am sure my wife just cheated on me. We got a male 40 OP and a female 43 wife. I think that last night my wife cheated on me. We have been married 10 years, together for 13. She went out to buy some stuff for the home, which is weird. She hates doing that. She went with a male friend I don't know. She stayed out for several hours. It was weird because she spent the day getting ready like it was a date. And when she was gone, I grew suspicious and checked around the room, and she had put on her sexy underwear, meant just for our bedroom. I do all the childcare, so I put the kids to bed. She showed up after and refused to tell me most of the details of the man she was with, and told me that in order to stay in our marriage, she needed some time that was just for her. She only told me his first name, and when I thought back, I had seen that name pop up in her text for the last several months. I didn't think anything of it at the time because it's the name of a work friend she has, and they often need to reach out to one another after hours for big projects. I think that she has been slowly building up the courage to cheat on me. Over the last 2 months, our sex life has collapsed to 0, and she has grown extremely hostile without any given reason, seemingly out of nowhere. Last week, she told me she doesn't want to be married and it has nothing to do with me. An outrageous assertion. Before everyone says I don't do enough as a husband, I do 100% of the childcare, shopping, housework, and I work from home, though she is the primary breadwinner. I am emotionally available and mature, and I don't have a temper. I stay relatively fit and am attractive enough. I am not controlling. I don't object at all to her having male friends, but this screams affair. I am utterly shattered and I feel like I am dying. I don't even know how to talk to her about it. She has been so angry lately that communicating with her is a nightmare. I want to divorce her, but that would break apart my children's home. If I file for a divorce, would that make me the a-hole? 100% your plan of action should be to divorce this woman. For her to come up to him and be like, I just don't want to be married anymore, big red flag, especially when you have kids. It's honestly worse to have someone who's not committed to the relationship raising your kids. kids. I think he should get a divorce, but before he does that, figure out 100% if she's cheating or not, because I believe that can be used as evidence to support the more favorable ruling. Maybe you can tap in a little bit more to that breadwinner, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people are like, oh, we have to stay together for our children. When I've met plenty of friends who are like, yeah, my parents not divorcing when they should have is what ruined my childhood. Your kids are gonna pick up on this. They're gonna be like, Daddy, why is mommy going off with her new friend? And why do you look like you want to deep throat a Glock? Kids are smart. They'll pick up on that shit. Would I be the a-hole for dumping my girlfriend after I found out about her past? We have a 40 male OP and a 32 female girlfriend. I've been going out with my girlfriend since last August. We have a great relationship generally. I would say the only weak patch in our relationship is sex. Not necessarily frequency, but quality. I would describe her as very vanilla, and I'm quite kinky. Like only 1 or 2 positions, and it took her ages to get naked with me. Doesn't like oral, conveniently accepts it though. But the relationship is great in a lot of ways, so I've turned a blind eye. Asking her about it, she said she had a lot of partners before we had gotten together, and when COVID happened, she found herself on her own, so she worked on herself and discovered herself. She never said how many guys she's been with, but I assumed it's more than me, which isn't hard as I've only been with less than 10 women in my life. She said before me, she hasn't had sex in about 2 years. We've been getting serious lately, and by chance, I introduced her to my foster brother, 31 male. I've known him for over 20 years, so I love him like a true sibling. Everything seemed okay in the meeting, but afterwards he messaged me asking to talk. He said he realized he knows where he knows her from. He said he realizes she was this girl who was notorious when he and his mates went out that she was a real slag. Basically, she was into everything and anything. Threesomes, spit roasts, gangbangs, everything. She even did an amateur porno apparently. He protests he never fucked her, but knows loads of his mates who did. He said the rule of thumb is if she was out, you knew you'd be lucky apparently. I couldn't get it out of my mind, so asked her about what he said. She basically admitted it, saying, yep, she was that person. She apologized for keeping it from me, but she said she was ashamed of it and that she isn't that person anymore. Since then, I feel really weird about her. I feel basically she's a hypocrite. She doesn't do certain acts or positions yet did in the past. She once had a go at me for watching porn yet did it herself in the past. In terms of her number, it seems like she's well in triple digits. I've been trying to process it, but a couple of days ago, she tried to have sex and try to do things she's never wanted to do. Basically acted all slutty. I told her to stop and it feels weird. She got all defensive and said, isn't it what I want? I don't know why, it just feels not. I can't explain it, but I feel like something is broken between us. I love her, but I can't look at her the same way again. It's shallow if you hear about your partner's past and then based off that past get offended or upset about it. But what I will say is it's hard when your partner has been lying about their past. If he had heard about it from the girlfriend and had this reaction, I'd be more inclined to say you're the a-hole, but I want to go with you're not the a-hole because he didn't hear it from the girlfriend and the girlfriend was almost hiding it. I'm not saying that the switch isn't bad, but I think the problem here is the amount of communication that the girlfriend had with the boyfriend. Like, why is he hearing about this from a third party? Am I the a-hole for choosing my girlfriend over my ex-wife and son? We have a 55 male OP, a girlfriend who is 40 female, 15-year-old son. My wife and I divorced 4.5 years ago and she hasn't quite gotten over it. She divorced me for her coworker. She was abusive and we fought all the time. Anyway, when the relationship failed, she started being nice to me. I have a 15-year-old son named Sean. We have a great relationship. His mother and I are starting to co-parent better. Here's the issue. His mother can't stand the fact I am in a relationship and she is no longer seeing her coworker. She can't seem to keep a boyfriend right now. She's quite difficult to be with. She hates my girlfriend and therefore Sean and my girlfriend do not have a relationship as Sean does whatever his mother says. I've tried talking with Sean. He is somewhat like his mother. My girlfriend will not force a relationship either. She says if someone doesn't want to be a part of her life, then she doesn't need them. I have to agree as my son and ex-wife have been unfair to her. Now, this past week, I've been out of town for work. I already informed my ex and my son that I wouldn't be around. My girlfriend decided to take some time this week to do things she's wanted to do around the house, some repairs and decorating. My ex called me to tell me that she met someone and wanted to know if Sean can stay at my house while she spends the weekend with this guy. I told her that Sean is perfectly capable of staying home at their house by himself. She said she doesn't want him home alone and that he is scared in case something happens. She insisted that she will drop him off at my house. I told her that my girlfriend is not going to watch him. She is not obligated to watch someone who has treated her like shit for the entire time we have been together and that Sean can stay home at his house. My girlfriend has tried it in the past to have a relationship with them both and they have refused. So that ship has has sailed unless my girlfriend really wants to, which at this point, I'd say no, because we all know that they are just using her and I am not allowing that. My ex-wife says I am choosing my girlfriend over our son, which I don't feel that I am. I feel that I am choosing to teach my son that listening to his mother and acting like her will cause him to face consequences down the road. I even talked to my girlfriend and she says she doesn't feel comfortable being at home with a 15-year-old that practically hates her and it just be the two of them, knowing how he and his mother can be. She said if things were different and they had a great relationship, she wouldn't mind, but not this way. I support her and I don't want her to feel uncomfortable either. My son comes over every other weekend and this isn't even our weekend either. For the question at hand, I want to go with not the a-hole. OP is totally in his rights to choose the girlfriend in this case because A, it's not his responsibility, it's the mom's, and B, the girlfriend has adequate reasons not to want to hang out with the son and ex-wife. What I will say is everyone sucks here for this entire situation, and specifically for OP, accepting this as the reality. The wife needs to be amicable with the girlfriend, especially if she was the one who pushed for the divorce. The son needs to be amicable with the girlfriend, and the girlfriend needs to be amicable with both of them as well, especially the son. In my head, it's like, okay, I need to be more aggressive about shutting down this toxic dynamic and to push it further into things like family therapy with everyone there to help build a better relationship. I understand that he's allowing the son to experience the consequences, but it almost feels wrong that the girlfriend has this like, I tried as hard as I could, and because of that, like, I'm out. You kind of have to go into a situation like that expecting it not to be perfect, but be willing to work on it. Am I the a-hole for wanting to reveal my affair partner's cheating to her husband? Before we get into the last story, I just wanted to say thank you for watching the video this far. And if you're enjoying the video this far, if you could hit the subscribe button or follow if you're listening on Spotify, as well as maybe share this with a friend who also enjoys Reddit stories. I appreciate any support, and if you enjoyed the video, I'm sure your friends will too. I've been involved in an affair. Actually, my girlfriend slash partner has been having an affair with me for the last 4 months. I won't go into detail, but I feel horrible and disgusted. I've always hated cheating, and I never wanted anything good to come to cheaters, but now I have gotten mixed up in it, and it's eating me alive. So 4 months ago, I met this woman, she is 29, at my gym, and we pretty much connected instantly. Over the course of 4 months, we became a couple, went on many dates, had sex plenty of times. I was a virgin before I met her, I never had a girlfriend or sex, and I really felt that life finally kicked in for me, and that things would get better. I'm 24, and before I met her, I always felt like a reject and a weirdo because of my lack of success in dating and relationships. The other day, by chance, I found out she has a husband, and I wanted to bury myself on the spot. I felt so bad, I can't put it into words. She wanted to have sex after we had a date, but I lied and told her that I couldn't do it that day because I had something planned. I came home and I was ashamed of myself. I managed to find her husband on social media, and I've been going back and forth on wanting and how to reveal everything. I saved all of our chats, pictures, and I even have some receipts from our dinners. I talked to my mom about it, and she told me that since I managed to find him and since I have evidence, I should inform him. My mom told me that he deserves to know, and if it were up to her, she would have revealed everything, but she told me that it's my decision to make. Let me just answer it by saying not the a-hole. The right thing to do would be to let him know. I'm debating if he should first confront her because it would be weird if she didn't communicate it, but with the times that we're in, she could possibly be like in an open relationship. Not saying that that is likely here. I think there are two ways that he could go with this. Either he could confront her first, give her an ultimatum. I think that's the mature thing to do, but I also don't think you're in the wrong to just be like, you know what, this guy needs to know, and to message him on social media and send him everything. I actually think it's better if he doesn't confront her. If he gives her the opportunity to tell the husband, how does he know that she did it in a way that completely communicates everything? Maybe she'll dumb it down. To get the full truth, he should just message the husband everything and then let the cards fall where they may. If you're looking for more messy Reddit stories, click the link at the top of the description or the videos popping up on screen right now. The members of our community love these videos, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them too.